Okay. All right. As usual, I got to check and see if I'm live because this is a very old computer and things tend to get delayed and slowed down around here. Okay. All right, here we go. I think we have enough light and I think we're ready to go. We can wait a few minutes to see if a few more show up. I want to thank you all, new subscribers. Welcome. And for those of you who are new and not yet subscribed, welcome to Straight Talkin' Fedora Chic. For those of you who are new and are not familiar with what we do around here, we are for lack of a better term, because honestly, these days I can't seem to keep to a lane, but let's give it a shot. Best described as a social commentary / storytime channel, discussing topics, social issues of the day, topics that resonate with me. If you're into that kind of thing, please consider subscribing and hit that useless bell thingy below. So maybe one day YouTube can notify you every time I go live or upload. Yeah. So still, I've been trying to figure out, I've been trying to see if I can still work again with iMovie so I can do more uploads. I can't. It's not workable right now. So yeah, I have to buy an editor in order to do uploads, or I do a straight webcam video. But, you know, we'll try and work this out the best way we can. Okay, so welcome to tonight's stream. And as you saw by the thumbnail, we are going to be talking about Amy's life journey. We're going to be reacting to one of her latest videos, if it's not her, the latest out of her, called Taking My Kids Away, with about 4 exclamation points and a question mark. And yeah, well, I can understand having social services called upon you, or the proper authorities called on you, whether it's regarding the welfare of children or not. I can understand it. It can be traumatizing for both parents and children. But before I go on, just so you know where I'm coming from, I am not an expert. I'm not a parent. I'm not a social worker. However, I used to work for many years as a secretary for the Department of Youth Protection under the Ministry of Health and Social Services here in La Belle Province, which is what we call in French, la protection de la jeunesse, youth protection. And obviously, I'm not going to be talking about what I saw with my work, but this is about where I'm coming from. Also, I was also a kid who was in the system partially as growing up, who had to have dealings with social services. I was placed outside my home in my later teens. So this is basically the place from where I come. Now, sorry, I have to consult notes because my short-term memory is really not great these days. Okay, so here we go. So but in this case, you know, we know that that people make nuisance calls to Child Protective Services, CAS, whatever it's called in your jurisdiction. There are people who make nuisance call. However, I'm going to say for Amy's case, she raised the red flags herself, and I'm not, and these would not, whoever called Department of Family Services or whatever they call themselves in the state of Oregon, this was not a nuisance call. Amy, I'm going to be reacting to parts of her video so we can show, she comes off as very sarcastic, and Amy, if social services were to see that video, they're not going to take too kindly to it, okay? Okay, please remember, I'm not coming from a place of hate. I am concerned for the welfare of children, okay? It's always been that way. It always will be that way, okay? No, I'm not shedding hate because of your weight. I honestly couldn't care less about that. I'm an overweight woman myself, so I'm not going to critique other overweight women. So this is, let's get that out. Get that out of the way. Has nothing to do with that. This is about the red flags that you sent up yourself, Amy, okay? And which would have precipitated a call to Department of Family Services. Okay, so we're going to address a few things right now briefly, okay, before we react to the video. There is number one, the banner on the car with your YouTube channel. The car that you use to drive your children around, to run errands, to drive your children around to school, to daycare, play dates, wherever. Okay? Not a safe thing. I mean, besides the obvious that you're opening yourself up to doxing, you know, besides the obvious, there are sick people out there, including in your town, Amy. Okay. And then there was the issue with the potty in the I guess it was a potty or a commode or something in the car. Okay, I get that you said you don't like public washrooms. Okay, that's valid. If I don't like public washrooms either, they tend to be gross and nobody cleans up. But there's got to be a better solution than putting a commode in the back seat of your van. Okay. And potty training your child on camera. I don't care if you have a towel around her. I don't care. That is highly inappropriate. Okay. Do I really have to spell out how inappropriate that is? And that definitely sends up red flags. Okay, so I don't think I really need to go further into that. As far as I know, I really hope you took down the video, Amy. And I mean, really took it down. I know nothing is, I know once it's on the internet, it's never completely gone, but you know where I'm coming from. Also, there was the video, I think it was titled, Let's Go to Portland. Oh, hi, Lily. Hi, Nikki. Oh, good to see you, Nikki. Welcome to Straight Talkin' Fedora Chic. Okay, sorry if I don't address the chat right away. Sorry if I do not address the chat right away. It's because I have to read off another screen from notes because my short-term memory, okay, is really super crappy these days. And I've been getting into problems with word loss again. Okay, it's not because I don't know how to talk. It's just that sometimes I forget how to talk. Yeah, you look, if I can't laugh at my cognitive issues, you know, yeah, hang on, Nikki. She's an abuser. She has anger issues, no self-control. She hits her kids for instant gratification. Hold on a minute. Hang on a minute. I got a weird message on my computer. Sorry for the interruption. I got a really weird message on my computer. Oh, God. Hang on. I got to take a screenshot and I got to send this to my IT person. Yeah, sorry. Like I said, if you're new here and you don't know, yes, I'm old and I'm not cool and I'm not tech savvy. So, and given, for those who don't know, I was someone who was close to me, attempted to defraud me last fall. So every time I see weird messages on my computer, I kind of, maybe I'm over exaggerating on my part here, but anyways, I'm getting off track here. I'm getting sidetracked here. So back to what I was saying. Hi, Azinga. Happy Valentine's Day to you too. Okay, so anyways, if I don't respond to the chat right away, it's because I'm on another screen and I have to consult my notes because, like I said, my short-term memory is really, really, really bad these days. Okay, here we go. So, yeah, so the potty train, where did I leave off? Okay, where did I leave off? Okay, so yeah, the potty training on camera, no, it's a bad idea. And please don't come back and tell me there are other YouTube videos of people doing that, because I'm going to use that old cliche that parents use. So if you see them jumping off a bridge, are you going to jump off a bridge? Sorry, I'm not that original. And like I said, I'm old and I'm using stuff my grandmother and my mother used to say to me. Okay, then there was next the question of the slap and a video called Let's Go to Portland. I think that's what it was called, Let's Go to Portland. Feel free to correct me in the chat if I'm wrong, but there was a question of a slap of her daughter, her youngest child. What had happened was, if memory serves me, what had happened was the child was crying about something. Amy pushed the camera out of the way, and then we heard a noise. that sounded like a slap. To be fair, okay, we did actually see it, but it sounded like it. And the child was like pretty much screaming and crying afterwards. So, anybody can come up, to the worst, anybody can come up with those conclusions. Next, there was a video floating around on Twitter a few days ago where she was waving a wooden spoon. She was driving the car, the kids were in the back. She was waving a wooden spoon and said something along the lines of, do I need to use this? Something along those lines. I'm paraphrasing here. And she claimed that she never used it. She used it as a threat only. Like I said, again, we don't really have proof that she used it if we were to go before a court of law, for instance. But it's a bad look. Okay, it's a very bad look, and it does send up alarm bells. And of course, yeah, the skunk as a pet, even if it is an emotional support animal, supposedly. I mean, never mind that to try to domesticate a skunk. What I don't like about it is that the scent glands have to be surgically removed. To me, that is tantamount to declawing a cat. And so, yeah, I don't like that. But we're not going to really dwell on the skunk, but I have to wonder if that is a safe pet to have around children. Okay, so, there is some cause for alarm, okay? People are genuinely concerned for the kids. I know I am. I'll speak for myself. I'm genuinely concerned for these children. So, yeah. Before we start the video, I'm going to go back to the chat, see what's going on. Nikki Lee, what's the point of potty training like that? It's strange. Yeah, I agree. Hey, Daphne. Oh, okay, no problem, Daphne. That's fine. That's fine. Thank you for stopping by. That reminds me, how is the squirrel on the window? Lily, the squirrel is gone. Okay, the squirrel left. And I am relieved about that. And I finally got to close the outer window of my kitchen. So I am truly thankful about that. I was not, somebody made a joke and said I could have called it my emotional support squirrel. No, no. But yeah, for those who don't know, I did have a squirrel that nested because I forgot to close the outer window of the kitchen. I only had the inner window closed, but I forgot to close the outer window before winter. A squirrel came between the panes and started making a home for himself there. And it made a nest, and yeah, I have a huge mess to clean in my kitchen window come springtime, needless to say. But yeah, the squirrel has been gone now for a few days. Yeah, the squirrel has been gone now for a few days. So I'm thankful for that. Yeah. Okay, so before I take to the reaction, I just want to mention a few items. Okay, just a few items. Tomorrow, Saturday afternoon, 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Hey, Kavich, welcome to Straight Talkin' Fedora Chic. I don't think we've ever met. Hedda's another channel, Hedda's Haven. Hedda's Haven, that's who Hedda is. Okay. Yeah. So, yeah, back to what I was saying. Before we get into the react, I just want to make a few announcements. Tomorrow at 2 p.m. Eastern Standard, 1 p.m. Central, Captain Fish will be back on with me. If anybody remembers Captain Fish, the voice everybody loves, the voice for radio, he's going to be back on with me. Everybody remembers the mukbang compilation cringe fest that we did. Well, tomorrow we're going to do something similar, only it's going to be the outrageous things people do for views. So we're going to find some outrageous videos. Just a few spoilers. We're going to be learning how to go fishing for eels. And we're going to learn how to wash an alligator. So yeah, 2 p.m. Eastern Standard, 1 p.m. Central. That's tomorrow with Captain Fish. Next Saturday, February 22nd, time to be decided. Journey to Find K is going to be on with me. We are going to be discussing children and social media. So sort of consider this stream sort of, I don't know, a prelude to that. So yeah, that's coming up. If you have any video suggestions, feel free to mention them in the chat, in the live chat here, or in comments below. Or I have a Discord server, so you can make suggestions there. I'm going to put the link to my Discord server. It's about we're about a month and a half old, and we're already over 40 members strong. Very proud of that. So I'm going to put the link in. If you haven't already joined, please consider joining. Meet a group of awesome people. You were on Neg's live stream today. Did you see a compilation of Nikocado being mentally draining? You know, it's becoming, all his videos are becoming mentally draining. I did a reaction to him last night. I talked about Nikocado last night, so I'm not going to really talk about him now. And somebody in my comment section last night kind of told me, don't do any more Nikocado avocado videos. Not that I do what I'm ordered to do, but yeah. Yeah, so that's that. So yeah, please join our Discord server if you haven't already. Awesome group of people. And also, if you wish to support the channel, yes, we're on to the obnoxious e-begging portion of the show. If you wish to support the channel, I have Patreon. So I'd like to give a shout out to my 3 patrons, S, Journey to Find K, and Kim Liepert. All of you, I appreciate all of you. So here's the Patreon. Wish I had some mods in here tonight. I don't know where all my mods are at. Okay, but we'll make do. We'll make do. Okay. And I also have a PayPal. And the link to that is coming up. Okay, so without further ado, we are going to react to the video together, okay? So let's get to it. Okay. Here we go. Whoops. Okay. So here we go.
I also just want to say thank you to everybody that called DHS and had them come out and do a well checkup on my home and on my kids, and had DHS go to my children's school and talk to him separately by himself. That was just perfect. That was awesome. That worked out real well. That did him in real well.
Okay. Okay, Amy, this is standard practice. Like I said, I used to work as a secretary. I can't speak for other jurisdictions, but I imagine certain standard practices are pretty much universal, no matter where you are. That's what they do. They come to your home. They inspect your home. They interview the parents or whoever's home at the time. They go to your children's school. They interview your children. They may also interview teachers or support staff. This is standard practice. They're doing their jobs. They're doing an investigation. And like I said in my preamble, you brought this on yourself, okay? You brought this on yourself. I fixed the link. Yeah, Daphne, I fixed the link. Yeah, you know, like I said, I need to hire somebody who is technically savvy, honestly, because I have no idea what the hell I'm doing tech-wise more than half the time. Nikki Lee says, is it Lee or Leah? Sorry if I'm mispronouncing your name. Passive aggressive. Yeah, it is. This is not the kind of attitude I would be taking. As a matter of fact, I would not even be doing a video, Amy, talking about what happened with Child Protective Services or whatever they're called in the state of Oregon. Is it Department of Family Services? I don't know. Like I said, the work is pretty much the same. The mandate is pretty much the same. For lack of a better protection, everybody seems to know CPS best. So for the sake of this discussion, I'm going to refer to it as CPS or Child Protective Services. All right, moving right along. Okay.
Mentally, because he can handle stuff like that. I just want to say thank you so much. And I hope everybody is now fulfilled with whatever it is that they were looking for, and that your needs were fulfilled. You know, that whatever agenda you guys had going on was met, and that you guys are now ready to move on and to stop this madness, because literally there is not anything that you guys put in that report is even remotely true.
Okay, that is up to for social services to determine in their investigation. It's not up to us armchair quarterbacks. But, you know, that is up to social services to determine, Amy, and doing a video like this is not going to keep social services away. And whoever was the declarant, that's the legal term, I believe whoever was the declarant that made the call, you're not going to get them to retract the call, especially those who are genuinely concerned for your children, okay? Doing this video, I'm going to tell you right now, big mistake, okay? Thank you, Daphne. Thank you. I appreciate you. All right. Yeah. So that's what I have to say on that. And going on sarcasm is not becoming. I will say this. Yes, more often than not, a stranger or social worker coming to the school, pulling your child out of the class to talk in a private room. Sometimes it can be traumatizing for a child, or it can drive them to be anxious. And sadly, I wish there was a better way. But like I said, I personally was never a social worker. I simply provided administrative support. So I don't have expertise in that field. But I guess, I don't know, this might drive people to be mad at me. But I guess a necessary evil, I don't know. But, you know, they're trying to do their job. They're trying to do their jobs. They're trying to ascertain, and your child is 11 years old, which means your child is old enough to be interviewed by social services. Okay. And yes, it is normal for a social worker to interview the child without the parents present. It is the best odds. If the child does feel indeed a danger at home, they might feel safer without the parents in the background or lurking around. They might feel safer talking to the social worker. That might happen. Okay. But like I said, I can't speak to how her son reacted. I don't know him. All righty. So moving right along.
First and foremost, let's cut to the chase. Yesterday, DHS went to my son's school, brought him out of class, brought him into a private room, and questioned him.
Yeah,
My
that's
son
standard,
has no
like I
idea
said.
what is going on. My son does not know what goes on in social media because I don't allow him to know things like that. He doesn't need to. He's young. He has no business knowing adult
thank goodness for
information.
small
Doesn't
favors,
know
I
about
guess.
adult situations. My son does not know what happens on YouTube. He doesn't know those things because I don't fill him in with those things. I don't think he needs to know adult things.
Wait a minute. Hold on a minute. You have been gaining some notoriety and infamy. How do you know? Yeah, an 11-year-old is old enough. I mean, not old enough to have a social media account. I mean, personally, if I had a child 11, my child would have no social media accounts whatsoever. But other kids, like his classmates, maybe they or their parents watch your videos and maybe they fill them in. You know, have you ever thought that maybe, you know, with often the problematic content you provide, you may be subjecting your children to ridicule that they don't deserve? Yeah, your kids deserve to be kids.
Things. I allow my children to be children, and that's it. However, when DHS comes to my son's school and starts questioning him about, you know, how he's, you know, how we are with him, if we abuse him, if we feed him, if we fight,
standard questions,
how we treat the kids,
standard
and that stuff. Then it starts raising flags with my son to be like, whoa, wait, what's going on? Like, why are you questioning me? I think what was sad is that when he came home and he was all worked up and very upset emotionally, I had to sit down and I had to explain to him how people on YouTube are saying some things about mommy and daddy, and how, you know, now they have called the state to get them involved, which is now having to get.
Okay, first of all, there is a chance that your 11-year-old might know exactly what you're doing, or might be hearing, you know, how their parents or their older siblings who watch you might be interpreting you. You know, sometimes how things are perceived are more important than truth, or not more important, sorry, wrong choice of words. Here I go again. I'm losing my words again. I'm trying to find my words again. Yes, I mean, don't get me wrong. I'm sorry I am honestly sorry if your son was traumatized or made anxious or his day was ruined by the experience. And no child should have to go through something like that. Sadly, a lot of children react the same way when they're interviewed by a social worker they've never met for the first time, and they're interviewed about things at home. But there are possibilities. Maybe they're anxious because maybe they don't necessarily trust, because they might be afraid of what goes on at home. And that is something to take into account. I know that was my case when I was young, and I was interviewed by a social worker after a beating I had from my father. I remember I was not terrified of that social worker per se. I was terrified of things getting worse at home, you know, because I had told what happened. Okay. So yeah, your child could have been anxious for any number of reasons. Okay. And I'm just going to leave that there, because again, it's not for me to speculate.
My kids involved. And, you know, maybe I haven't shared much about my older son, but he does deal with anxiety, and he also has some other disorders that I don't think I need to really go into detail about on YouTube that are personal for him. That I can definitely say this threw him off, and it really traumatized him yesterday. And we had a really hard day yesterday emotionally with him because of what happened. So I just hope that the people that called and made this report really got fulfilled what they were looking for, because not only were you...
Okay, believe it or not, Amy, most of us are not just a bunch of, you know, haters. Many of us, like yours truly, are truly concerned for the welfare of your children. I've seen these clips, okay? Like so many people, I have seen these clips. The potty training in the van, you know, I wish I could unsee them like many people can't, but unfortunately, it's one of those things that I wish I could forget, and I wish I could remember my notes, okay? But that's not to be. You know, like I said, Amy, you got to take responsibility. I'm not saying, you know, there are plenty of content creators out there who are parents, and they don't have this much trouble with their children, meaning they don't, I mean, I'm guessing, I don't know what happens behind the scenes, but maybe the better choice of words would be, I don't hear anything about them having child protective services going after them because of content they produced. Most who are parents are conscientious. They keep their kids anonymous. They keep their kids off camera. They keep their kids out of the scene, you know, off the scene, you know, and they maintain their child's privacy. Okay. Unfortunately, you put your kids out there. You see, this is why I don't like family vlogs. All right, here we go.
You trying to affect me and my husband, but you definitely affected my older son. And that is so unfair. That is so unfair that you guys would definitely not keep in mind that you're affecting children as well. Not only are you affecting the adults, but you're affecting the children. And at the end of the day, the children are the ones that are honestly...
No, Amy, you're affecting your own children yourself by your own actions.
Because they're the ones that are clueless. They don't know what's going on. They don't understand. They don't have a voice to fight for themselves.
That's right. They don't have a voice to fight for themselves. That's why agencies like Child Protective Services exist. Now, I'm not going to sit here and pretend that in any given jurisdiction, Child Protective Services, DFS, or the DPG, as we call it here in La Belle Province, I'm not going to sit here and pretend that it's perfect. More often than not, you know, overload on case files, budget cuts across the board. You know, I'm not going to deny that it's a perfect system, but it's the only system we have, okay, in place. And they are there to make sure they are around. They come in to make, if there is a question of the safety or the well-being of your children, it's their job to check that out and follow it up. Okay. if somebody sees an alarming video, most of us are not social workers or have never worked with social workers. But if we see something alarming and we go into overdrive interpreting this in our minds, it's not up to us to know. It's up, so it's incumbent upon us to call social services if we see a red flag. Social workers are trained to investigate these things, find the proof if there is any. Your videos themselves are pretty incriminating, including this one I'm reacting to right now. Okay, on our way.
Our innocent children living their lives. Their parents
Hey,
have
Ray
chosen to be on
Phoenix.
YouTube, put
Good
their
to see
lives
you.
out there, and now there are ruthless people out there that just want to rip our family apart, and it's just not going to happen.
Okay. No, Amy, you're ripping your own family apart. Hang on. Let me address the chat because we got some new people. Hey, Roberta. Good to see you. We're reacting to Amy's life journey, who is, let's just say she's a bit alarming. And some of us are concerned that her children might not be safe. And here she is. She's doing a video. She just did this video, which is not helping her case with Child Protective Services. Okay, so that's basically what we're talking about. Roberta, I leave all my streams up, as you know, so if you jumped in late, or anybody who's jumped in late, you can catch it from the beginning. Oh, yes, please feel free to leave a thumbs up if you like this stream so far. If you don't, feel free to give it a thumbs down, yes. Yeah, Wraith Phoenix, what did she expect? Showing abusive and neglectful behavior on camera, especially after the Daddy of Five scandal. You're absolutely right, Wraith Phoenix. We seem to, most of us do. I never saw a Daddy of Five. I did see clips from a video. I think it was The Right Opinion that did a video about them, and I think that's the extent. But yeah, I mean, the pranks that were pulled on those children were abusive. From what I hear, the children are no longer living with their dad. And I hope that is the case. But yeah, after we see a thing of Daddy of Five, yeah, we're and then we see children on camera in compromising situations like yours were, Amy's okay. Nikki, Amy's life journey, abusing her kids. Have you seen the videos, Roberta? Okay, Roberta says no. Thank you, Race, for putting up the Discord server. Thank you, Roberta. Thank you, Nikki. Yeah, I'm sorry, Roberta. It's not a happy Valentine's Day topic tonight. I'm sorry. But if you come tomorrow afternoon, we're going to have fun content. We're going to be doing a cringe compilation tomorrow. We're going to learn how to wash an alligator and go fishing for eels tomorrow afternoon at 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and Captain Fish will be my guest. Captain Fish, the voice. Yeah, it's sad. Yeah, there was this a clip floating around on Twitter a few days ago, where she was waving a wooden spoon in front of the camera, and she said something along the lines of, "Do I need to use this?" And I mean, she claimed she never used it, but the thing is, why do you carry a wooden spoon in your car? The last I checked, wooden spoons are not part of a roadside first aid kit. You know what I mean? They don't play when it comes to young children. No, you're right, Wraith, and nor should they, nor should anyone play when it comes to young children. Like I said, there are plenty of content creators on the platform who are parents, who have children that are younger than yours, but yet they don't seem to have the problems that you seem to having. You know what I mean? Ouch, my GM used to abuse me. I would get hit with objects all the time. Yeah, and I was abused by my father too, Roberta. Yeah, so we have that in common. And I guess this is why when I see things like this about children, being abused, or should I say allegedly or potentially, because I don't want to get sued either, although it's hard to sue people in Canada these days. But you get the idea of where I'm coming from here, right? So, yeah, she rages quickly. I seen one where she was aggravated. Her daughter kept asking for water while she was YouTubing. Yeah, I think that's the Let's Go to Portland video, Nikki. Yeah, where I mean, the camera was shut. The little girl was crying, and I think she's about 2 or 3 years old, if I'm not mistaken. If I'm not mistaken, feel free to correct me in the chat if I'm giving any misinformation. Because I'll be honest, I don't follow Amy's life journey. I only catch the clips here and around, and I always catch the most problematic of reaction videos and clips, you know. But you know, because I'm not into family vlogs, I'm not into lifestyle channels. But yeah, so feel free to correct me if I'm wrong. So back to what I was saying, it was the Let's Go to Portland, I think. And she knocked the camera out of the way. The daughter was crying. She wanted her attention. And you heard her screaming at her. And then you heard a noise like a thud, okay, off camera. Like she didn't even edit that out. You know what I mean? All right, here we go. Here we go. We're going back.
It's really not going to happen.
What's not going to happen?
They also came to my house and talked to me.
Well, that's what they do.
As far as I'm going to say about this subject is, whatever was on the agenda for you guys, it really was not met. My children are in the background, so clearly my kids are still with me. I think it's really sad that there are people out there that truly want to see families be ripped apart, that are not even families that should be ripped apart. There are families out there that definitely are going through some major things, and children that are really receiving true abuse that really need to be taken from their families, and they're not being seen or heard because the DHS people are busy working on these so-called bogus reports because people think it's
okay. I already covered this earlier. Yes, Child Protective Services, DPG, wherever you are far from perfect. Budget cuts and overload caseloads don't help matters, but you know, and yes, there are children who fall through the cracks, but it's not because they went off to your home or your child's school to interview your son. Okay, this happens because it's a systemic issue. All right. Hang on. That's all I've seen is the clips of her abuse. Had no clue who she was before. She's disgusting. Yeah, on that score, yes. And anybody who knows me knows that I don't do fat shaming videos. I'm a big girl myself. So I would, you know, you're not going to see me criticizing diets or because it's not my thing. You know, I'm really, you know, in this case, you know, the concern is for the children, you know, and what Amy has done, in my opinion, is reckless. You know, this is reckless. And this is what needs to be brought. Now, she probably won't watch my video, and that's okay. That's okay. But at least it's out there, you know, because child welfare has always been a concern of mine. All right, let's continue to go.
It's funny to call DHS and report these people.
No, it's not funny. No.
And report my family or whoever else's family.
It's not funny.
To them to have their children taken away from them. You know, there's a story, The Child That Cries Wolf, and I'm pretty sure everybody.
Yeah, I know the story.
And
I was raised on it too. Way back in the early 1700s.
Anyways, kind of goes into that tell that someone can call DHS so many times and report the same abuse, but by the end of it, what's going to happen is one day there is going to be a serious call that's going to be needed, and DHS isn't going to take it as serious.
Actually, no, their mandate. Okay, I don't live in your state. But like I said, the mandates, no matter what they call themselves, whether it's DFS or CPS or DPG or CAS, which is in other provinces in Canada, they're known as Children's Aid Society. No, they always have to take, even if there are repeated calls, if there are repeated declarants calling about the same children, they're always going to come. They are always going to at least do a preliminary investigation. Okay, sometimes it may take longer, depends on the coding, but yeah. Okay.
because there's been so many bogus calls made that at one point they're going to stop listening and taking it as serious as they need to because of these type of phone calls that are made that are false reports. And I just think it's so sad. It's just like people that would call 911 and say, hey, there's a
okay, yeah, sadly, yeah, there are nuisance callers. There are nuisance callers who crank 911. There are nuisance callers who would crank CAS, CP. Well, I said I was going to refer to it as CPS through the purposes of this discussion. Okay, yes, there are nuisance calls, but why do I not feel that this was one of them? I do not feel at all this was a nuisance call. Now, okay.
Emergency at.
Oh, we got an ad. Hang on. We got an ad. Hang on. There we go.
X, Y, and Z address, and the person's laying on the floor, not breathing, and fire department, ambulance, everybody shows up, and there's nobody there to even be found.
Okay, now I'm getting confused. We're comparing this to 911 dispatching. Yeah, okay.
And by the end of it all, it was all a hoax. It's the same concept. It's the same thing. Why would you ever want to waste the time of these people that work these more important jobs that you could ever imagine saving?
Okay, this is why these services, whether it's 911 dispatching, whether it's child protective services, whether it's the ER at a hospital, this is why triaging systems exist. Okay, they are trained, each in their own right, they are trained to decipher what's most urgent and who can wait a bit and who can wait a bit. This is why there's triaging. Again, it's not perfect. I'm not going to sit here and pretend that it is, but they do try their best. They do try their best.
Children saving lives. Why would you ever think twice about wasting that valuable time that you could never get back just because you are vile and vicious and want to try and hurt somebody or prove a point or be the cool one that made the certain call to turn the person in?
Okay, this is not about being cool, dear. This is not about being part of the in crowd. In fact, if anybody knows me here, okay, I'm not part of really any in crowd. I have a great community, but I'm not part of some in crowd. I'm an independent thinker, okay? I'm an independent thinker. I'm not with any particular crowd. I am concerned. Hang on. I'm going to take a break to address the chat for a bit. 1700. Hang on. Ray Phoenix. Hang on. Ray Phoenix. Honestly, she can't keep this easy for me to read. Honestly, she cannot keep this facade up. She is guilty as hell in the court of public opinion. She is done. Plus, there is evidence. She is such a dunce. She recorded it. You're absolutely right, Ray Phoenix. And sometimes the court of public opinion, whether we like it or not, is whether we like it or not, it's very strong influentially. And that's another thing she does not consider, when she does her videos. If you're going to put yourself out there, either as a blogger or a content creator, you have to take into account, yes, there could be consequences to what you say and what you do on camera, or what you include in your blog, so on and so forth. And I don't think Amy is getting this. Once again, doing this very video that I am reacting to, and I have no doubt others are reacting to, was not a good move. Okay, it's not helping you to improve opinion in the court of public opinion. Nikki, she doesn't see anything wrong with what she's doing. She believes her kids should fear her and that she's a good parent. She said that at Wraith. Oh, wow. She needs to be someone's biatch in prison. Oh, wow. Okay, hang on. Sorry, I'm not like I said, I'm not tech savvy. Okay, reminds me of my parents. You have lights and food. You're effing spoiled. Yeah, that was my generation too. Yeah, we heard that too, sadly. She's talking in circles. Yeah, she is. I'm starting to get confused myself. Okay. And I already have a brain disorder, so it's easy to confuse me. Very easy to confuse me. Right, Nikki? That's how she was raised, I'm sure. Yeah, she is. And there's another thing. Okay. Yeah. I mean, and that husband, not to be mean or even prejudiced or anything. And I have to wonder if he believes in corporal punishment. You know what I mean? Just saying. All right, here we go.
I just think it's so sad. I would never, even on my worst enemy, would I ever think twice about calling on somebody and saying this person is abusing their child or this person's not feeding their children or whatever it might be, to try and get that person's child taken away if there is no serious reason to have that child taken away. I did daycare before previously.
Okay, what do you deem as serious? You know, because what people might deem as serious, air quotes, is different around. And this is why, you know, people were concerned about the kids. Your kids, Amy, think about your kids. You know, if your son was traumatized when he got home from school because the social worker asked maybe some uncomfortable questions, and I have no doubt that happens. Why aren't you comforting your son? Why aren't you trying to reassure your son? Why are you doing a video addressing, I don't know, the masses? You know? No, I know it's not the religion, Wraith. I know it's not. There are, you know, I know it's not. It's just this husband. If you ever saw him on camera, if you ever saw him on camera, you might understand what I'm talking about. Oh, yeah. Her husband is a real prince. A real prince. Okay? And that's why I question. No, I'm not putting. Sorry if it came out across that way, but I'm absolutely not trying to lump an entire group, an entire demographic of people as people into corporal punishment. But this husband, like I said again, if anybody's seen him on camera, you probably know what I'm talking about. Best friend is same religion, best mother and personal. Yeah, and they are. You know, like I said, I worked with a friend who was from Egypt, the same place her husband is from, and very good people, you know, very good people. So sorry if it came across, but if you saw this particular man, her husband, on camera, you would understand what I'm talking about. I'm not going to try and look for clips of the husband right now. Yeah. Okay. Sorry if it came across that way. I don't understand how you can hurt your own children. I was abused and I never hurt my son. Makes me so sick at Roberta. Just saying, I know. I remember our conversation. Yeah, exactly. Thank you, Wraith. Talk to your kids like human beings. She can't be bothered when her baby wants some water. And that's the thing, Nikki. So if she couldn't deal with her child who wanted a drink of water, the toddler who wanted a drink of water, why do I get the feeling she wouldn't have patience to try, you know, if the son really came home and he was distraught because the social worker brought him into a room, and like I said, that can happen. Why is she making this video? Why is she out on social media? Why is she not trying to calm the waters and trying to reassure her son? Do you understand what I'm saying? Yeah. Oh, thank you, Ray. Thank you, Ray. Sometimes I stick my foot in my mouth. You know, I admit it. I stick my foot in my mouth. Yeah. All right, here we go. On our way.
You know, a few years ago, and I had a mother that lived in her vehicle with her 2 children, because in the state of Oregon, you cannot allow families to live with you if you do childcare for them. So therefore, I did not have a place for her to stay, so she had to live in her car. And we're talking, there was 2 different times that she did it. Once was in the middle of summer, and once was in the middle of winter. And both times there was people that had reported her that there's a woman living in her car with her 2 children. Do you know that DHS said as long as there is a roof over those kids' head, there's nothing we can do. They're taken care of. They have food.
What are you doing comparing yourself to a homeless family? What are you doing comparing yourself to a homeless family? That is a terrible situation. But here's the thing that Amy is not grasping here. Perhaps this homeless mother with her children is doing everything she can with the limited resources she has to keep her children safe, to keep her children fed, to send her kids to school, to provide at the very least the basic needs that she can. And she's doing everything she can to try to keep them safe. I'm not advocating living in a car, but it's obvious if I don't know. I'm going to guess. I don't know who she's talking about. Maybe this is just a straw man. She's using a straw man argument here, but assuming this is true, it is entirely possible. I don't think if anybody had a choice, I don't think anybody would choose to live and raise a family in a car. So I don't know why you're comparing yourself to this poor homeless woman. Let's see the chat right now. Okay, let's see the chat right now. You're probably right through repeating the cycle, Roberta. Just saying, okay, where we go? No, okay, here we go. Okay, attention seeking. Okay, all right, here we go. All right, so attention seeking. Okay, so let's continue. Let's move right along. Okay. So now, do not compare yourself to that homeless woman.
They have shelter. That's all that matters. They can be taken to the restroom at any given place. She is not crossing any laws. It takes more than just a phone call to get someone's children taken away. And I wish people would see that it takes more.
We know that it's more than a phone call. I think most of us know that. But that's where it starts, a phone call. Okay? And contrary to popular belief, I'm sure most of us would rather not see children ripped away from their parents. Most of us would not want to see that. But if the children are not safe in the home, okay, if there is a possibility the children are not safe, it has to be investigated by trained professionals.
Than just, I think this child needs to be taken from their mother and it's just going to happen.
No, that doesn't work that way.
Not only does it affect the adults that you're turning in and reporting falsely, but you're hurting the children. You traumatized my older son.
No, we did not traumatize your older son. It was your actions. How many times do I have to say this till I'm as red as my hat here? Okay, until I'm red as... Hey, Kay, good to see you. Good to see you, Kay. Hi, everyone. Been listening for a minute because I'm cooking dinner. Well, bon appetit. Just got home, and I hope everyone is well. Just wanted to say everything Fedora is saying is facts, and I agree. Thank you, Kay. Journey to Find Kay, she is going to be... I already collabed with her once on this channel. She is going to be back with me on Saturday, February 22nd in the afternoon. Time to be decided. She and I are going to be talking about children and social media. So you won't want to miss that. That Saturday afternoon, February 22nd, that stream. And Kay is going to be on with me. Oh, yes. Which brings me, I want once again a shout out to my patrons. On Patreon, Journey to Find Kay, who was in the live chat, and Kim Liepert. You are all awesome. Okay, let's move along. And yeah, okay, let's do another intermission here, a brief intermission. Okay, so if you wish to support the channel, I do have a Patreon. I'm going to put the link in. Thanks for thank you, Roberta, for stopping by. And love you too. Love you too. Thank you, guy. Is she going to address the wooden spoon? I watched the video in its entirety earlier, Nikki. No, she never does. I can tell you that right now. And if you wish to support the channel, if you only wish to do a one-time donation, you may do so through PayPal as well. And Wraith just put the link to our Discord server in the chat as well. If you haven't already joined our Discord server, come meet some awesome people like Journey to Find K, like Wraith Phoenix, Daphne, if she's still around. Excuse me, it's because I don't smoke enough. And this is why I cough, because I don't smoke enough. Yeah, so like I said, our Discord server, we are 40 members strong already. We are brand new. And we have a venting corner for those who wish to have a safe space to commiserate, to vent out or process certain issues they're having that they cannot discuss with anybody in their immediate environment. There's also, of course, the main chat for lighter topics. There's a room for your memes, and and Wraith put in a nice music bot, a juke bot that you can command to play music. So, and also TV talk, all that stuff. So come check us out on Discord if you haven't already. All right, back to the show. Hey, Daphne. Okay.
By doing what you guys did and have him taken out of class. Maybe
we didn't have him taken out of class.
But that's what happened.
Whoa. We did not have him taken out of class. We didn't do that. Okay, your videos, your actions on camera and on social media have done that. How many times do I have to say this? Oh, dear.
And he came home so upset because he had no clue what was going on.
Of course he would be upset. Why? Which leads me, once again, I ask for the, 10,000th time. Why are you not trying to process this with him? Why are you coming and belly aching at us?
That is not fair. That is not okay.
No, your videos are not okay. This video is not okay.
Plan for anything like this to happen again, because this threw him so far into a loop that he was messed up the rest of the day.
Okay, you're not going to put a guilt trip on me.
The rest of the day because of this whole situation. How fair is that? That is not okay.
No, Amy, what's not okay is your videos. What's not okay is this video. What's not okay is your questionable, problematic actions regarding your children. I've already mentioned this at the top of this stream. Once again, for those who are new and joined us late, I do keep all my streams up, so you'll be able to catch it from the beginning. Here we go again.
And I just hope and pray that whoever made the report is watching this video and listens to what I'm saying and knows that what they did is not okay.
No, what you did is not okay.
You hurt my son.
No, you
didn't.
Did
you try and hurt me, but you did affect my son.
We didn't hurt your son.
And I hope that you're okay with that. I hope that you're happy with that.
So I was about to make a flippant
finally
joke.
Decided to get
an ad. All right, hang on. One of those cheesy ads.
I hope that's what you were hoping you did. Because I can guarantee you that you weren't thinking
I was about to make a flippant
That's
remark.
What happened. And that is so sad that he paid the price for what you guys thought was going to be funny to call him.
No, well, we don't think, we don't think potential child abuse or suspected child abuse. Most of us who are decent human beings don't think it's funny at all. Okay, I certainly don't think it's funny.
On report, when everybody that watches my channel knows I do not beat my children.
Actually, we don't know that. That's just it. We don't know that. We've seen the wooden spoon, flagging the wooden spoon like this. We've seen the potty training on camera. We've seen, or at least heard, when your toddler, your little girl was asking for a glass of water or something when you were streaming.
If you say that, I do. So, anyways, that is my Valentine's rant for today. But I hope you guys are having a blessed day. Like I said, I am going to continue to focus on my weight loss.
I couldn't care less about that. I couldn't care less.
I'm gonna switch some things up and around. I said, I'm gonna get back to
I think we've heard enough. We've heard enough of that because I'm not covering weight loss or diets. This is not what I do here. Okay, there are plenty of other reaction channels that do just that sort of thing. It's not me. Okay, so we've covered basically the gist of what's happening here, you know? You notice how I, like, by the flip of a switch almost, after, she kind of ends abruptly, like how we heard her son, in an almost ominous tone, and then the next second, she's talking about weight loss and her diets. Like I said, this is something personally, the weight loss and diets, something personally I don't care about, don't cover here. Journey to Find Kay. I'm newer to her drama, but one thing I've noticed and don't like is that she doesn't take responsibility for most of her stuff and is very passive aggressive. Yeah, agreed, Kay. Yeah, agreed there. So I'm gonna take the share screen off because I'm not gonna share any more of this. Okay, here we go. Sorry. All right, there we go. Okay, I think we've heard enough of this video. So anyways, there's another thing she doesn't take into consideration, okay? There's another thing she does not take into consideration is that since her eldest son, who she is so concerned that we supposedly harmed, the son that is not legally or formally adopted, I'm not sure if she and her husband were seeking or en démarche, I don't know the word in English, en démarche, to get the paperwork, to get through the red tape. If they were trying to formally adopt their son, the series of videos she did and this reaction video she did that Child Protective Services has been officially called, and they did conduct an investigation. You kind of blew your shot there. If you're going through the evaluation for adoption of this child, I think you might have blown your shot. Just saying. You see, this is the thing. It's an example of what I'm saying. Amy does not think. Okay, it's obvious she's not thinking of her children. She's not thinking of the well-being of the children. And I think, especially with this video, letting the world know how she feels about how we all made a nuisance call, supposedly, to Child Protective Services, she may well have tanked her chances of adopting this child. Way to go, Amy. Way to go. I would do a slow clap, but then I would be too flippant, and so I won't do it. Okay, so yeah. So anyways, so that's, let me see if there's anything else in my notes. I apologize, I have to consult my notes. It's because my short-term memory is really out of sorts lately, and I don't want to miss anything I wanted to say. Okay, so, I'm going to leave a question out there, No, actually, no, you know what? I'm going to address that question with Kay when she comes on with me on the 22nd, where we're going to be doing a little deep dive about children and social media. So I'm going to leave that for when Kay and I do that stream on February 22nd. So I'm not going to ask that question. So now I'm going to turn it over to you in the chat right now. If you have any additional comments, or if there's information that you feel that I need corrected. Like I said, I don't follow her channel. I'm not subscribed to her channel. I don't like family vlogs. I don't like lifestyle channels, and I find her boring. Yeah, so I gotta go talk to you, Wraith. TTFN, what does that mean? I'm old and not cool. I'm from the early 1700s. I'm old and I'm not cool. What's TTFN? Anyone want to explain? Anyways, I'll catch you later, Wraith. I hope you're feeling better. Okay. Oh, moving right along. So anybody have anything to add in the chat? Any additional information? Anything additional they wish to add? A question or any information that you think that I got wrong? Anything you feel that I got wrong? Now's the time I turn it over to the chat. Okay, so we'll do that for a few minutes. Okay. All right. Well, feel free to add in comments later. Once again, if you like this video, it's Tigger TTFN ta for now. Oh, that's cute. Okay, cool, Wraith. Thank you. Oh, thank you, Journey. She also put it in too. Thank you. You see, like I said, I'm from the early 1700s. Okay. Yeah. Before technology. All right. So, okay. Well, anyways, okay. If there's nothing you want to add right now in the chat, that's okay. You can think about it later. You can add a comment. Remember, for those of you who are new, I leave all these streams up. And so if you came in late or had to leave early or missed it, you'll be able to watch it in its entirety if you so desire. Once again, if you liked it, please give it a thumbs up. If you have not yet subscribed, please consider subscribing and hit that little bell thingy below. I know it's useless, but maybe if we do, YouTube might get it right. I don't know. Maybe YouTube might get it right. So, and what else? Like I said, tomorrow afternoon, 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, I will be on with Captain Fish. We are going to be doing our compilation of the most outrageous things people do for views. And like I said, the 2 spoilers I'm giving you, we're going to learn how to go fishing for eels. And we're also going to learn how to wash an alligator. Yeah. Bye, Wraith. Hope you have a good night. Okay. Yeah, so, and learn how to wash an alligator. And we're also going to watch a short cooking show where someone cooked up something in the most unlikely of places. So no, needless to say, it's not in a kitchen, but it's in the most unlikely of places. So, and a bunch of other stuff. So you won't want to miss that tomorrow, 2 p.m. Eastern Standard. Bye, everyone. Hope everyone has a good night. This was a great stream. Can't wait to see you tomorrow for your stream with Fish. Yeah, it should be a lot of fun. Okay, for those of you who are new, Saturdays, for the most part, I do fun stuff. I do fun, lighthearted stuff. Okay, that's what we do for most Saturdays. Okay. So, yeah, so that's for tomorrow. And next Saturday, Journey to Find Kay. Kay will be on with me. We're going to be just deep diving. And we're going to be talking about children and social media. We're going to go have an in-depth discussion about that. So that should be interesting. Between now and then, if you have any video suggestions for me, you want to hear me, something you want to hear me talk about, please feel free to let me know in Discord or in the comments section below. And once again, oh, it usually is. I mean, the last time I was on with Captain Fish when we did the mukbang cringe compilation, that was a lot of fun. Yeah, when we did the mukbang cringe compilation. Okay, because more often than not, I talk about very serious topics on this channel. So once in a while, on a Saturday afternoon, I like to let loose and be silly. Yes, I know. Silliness is for kids. Maybe I'm a kid at heart. Okay. So anyways, once again, if you wish to support the channel, you may do so through Patreon. I'm going to put the links once more in the chat. They are also in the description box of this video. So I have a Patreon. Once again, thank you to my patrons, S, Journey to Find Kay, and Kim Liepert. I appreciate all of you. Thank you so much. And if you wish to make a one-time donation, I also have a PayPal. It's, yep, it's everything gets, here we go. And if you haven't joined our Discord server, meet some awesome people, please do so. We've got different rooms, things for different tastes. I'm going to put that Discord link once more time. Once again, all these links are in the description box below the video as well. I want to thank my mods again, Wraith Phoenix and Journey to Find K, and everybody who showed up. You are all awesome. You all rock. And thank you for making me feel at ease, because in all honesty, I was nervous about making this video. Okay, so that's about it. Take care of yourselves and each other. And remember, if there was somebody vulnerable in your midst or who was all alone, please take the time to look in on them, share a meal, share a coffee, or just lend a sympathetic ear. Sometimes it can make all the difference in that person's world. Okay, so without further ado, don't forget to come in tomorrow afternoon, 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time for some fun. And straight talking Fedora Chick over and out. Have a great weekend, everybody. And if you celebrate it, enjoy your St. Valentine's. Bye for now and see you tomorrow. Okay.